Blackburn Rovers yo-yo form continued as we suffer yet another defeat. Goodness gracious me, can actually Rovers string 2 wins together? We're going to take a look at it. All of it next. That's my first Bible game. Another match review. Looking back at Blackburn Rovers' latest match. That's right, the result against Cardiff City, and we'll get to that in just a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Back to all things Rovers related, Championship related, World Cup related. Later this year, that's right, of course. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, bloody lose one. Rovers again can't string 2 results together, whether it's 2 defeats or whether it's actually 2 wins in a row. Of course, those days are long gone. Of course, take a look at all of it in a second. A big shout out to my VIPs. They're the patrons. And of course, big shout out to Blue Rose Capital for sponsoring this video. But let's break the numbers down and have a look at how we all got on, or how actually Rovers got on this past midweek against Cardiff. All right then, folks, let's take a long look at it. Of course, Blackburn Rovers did lose, of course, 1-0 over in Wales, of course, as Cardiff came out on top 1-0 with Mark Harris scoring an absolute ripper. Game-winning goal, of course, worthy of winning the game as well. A fantastic strike. Kaminsky was all over everything. He was very good today, Kaminsky. But there was no stopping that. There was no stopping that goal. So fair play for Cardiff. To be honest with you, when you look at the chances, 14 chances for Cardiff. They should have really won this game or put it to bed in early doors. But Kaminsky was, for me, man of the match, despite, of course, conceding a goal. You've got to give it to him. He was incredible for Rovers. We will take a look at the match ratings in a second, but as you can see, Rovers did dominate possession, but it is the same shit every match at the moment. We are dominating possession, but we're not really taking full advantage. It's just a lot of keep ball. It's just keeping the ball, passing it around nicely, triangles and all this kind of shit. But we're not making that final push in the final third and making that possession count. But actually, the flip side, 46% possession for Cardiff, 14 shots on the die. Jesus, goodness gracious me. 7 of them off target, 7 of them probably on target. And as you can see, 7 corners. We had 0 corners, realistically 0 efforts. We even had a penalty miss at the end of it to give us an unfair, we're going to be honest here, it would not be a fair result for Cardiff if we would have got anything out of this game. So we did miss that penalty after Bradley Dack actually put the ball in the back of the net. The arguments are that perhaps the referee blew his whistle too soon, and of course if it allowed 5 more seconds I would have realised that Blackburn Rovers actually scored from that bit of possession. So but up stepped George Hurst, young gun. I don't know, I'm going big picture on this. Who on earth made the call that a young loanee was to go and take this penalty? A guy who is not affiliated with the club. Maybe you could think of it as a pressure scenario. Maybe he's not really affiliated. He wouldn't have that extra burden on his shoulders. But I think it's going to have a reverse effect, as you see, or when you look at some of the responses on social media. It's not great right now for the young lad. So hopefully he can bounce back quick. He does need his first goal, and at the minute he's more Z-Fook than he is more bloody. Who was a successful loanee? Van Heck. You know, of course, we'd fall over backwards to bring in Van Heck, wouldn't we? But right now, George Hurst has yet to really show what he's all about. He is a project. He is a work in progress. And that was a good chance for him to win over the faithful and even maybe even get a starting berth as well. But 1-0 it was. Cardiff were the better side, and they are struggling. Just goes to show what kind of team Rovers are right now. We have no real identity. It is a project. We've got to understand that. I am nowhere near any questionings of where we are right now. This was always going to be a transitional season for us. And right now, it is exactly what it is on the tin. It is a transitional season. We're winning some, we're losing some, we're winning them some, we're losing some. That is pretty much it for Rovers. So if it's like this throughout the season, then so be it. We've just got to suck it up and deal with it. Of course, next season is where the proof is in the pudding. 2 full transfer windows for this team, of course, will be proof enough to see if we are on the right track or if we're not on the right track. Of course, there are some good signs here right now. Of course, behind the scenes, Greg Broughton, getting Ashley Phillips. Motherfucking humongous signing that is. That's a humongous signing, getting Phillips tied down for a few years. We were on the brink of losing him for absolutely peanuts. But now we have secured the services of one of the greatest young talents at the moment in English football. So we've got him sealed. So well done to those guys. Well done for getting Buckley signed up, Kaminsky as well. So credit to the team, current team, and the team previous that got those deals done and dusted. But it is frustrating. It's not pretty sight right now watching Rovers, because you just don't know what we're going to get. Even if we did win, when we did win against Millwall, it was a bit shitty. It was a bit flaky. It was a bit lucky, a bit plucky, baby. But you got to ride those nights. And today, even when the penalty was given, I did not feel confident myself. I've got no confidence in our set piece takers whatsoever, whether it's corners, whether it's free kicks, penalties. I've got zero belief that we're going to convert these. And because ever since the Mulgrew era over, got no belief myself. We haven't got a stonewall penalty taker. We've got no, Diaz had it and then he lost it. I don't know what went on with the mojo with him in regards to penalties, but we need to get somebody in there who's cool, calm, collective, who could put the ball in the back of the net. A Conor Hoonhane was wild screaming out for in the summer. Conor Hoonhane in midfield, dead ball maestro, somebody like that. But we haven't got it. We're desperate for it. But anyway, it was not great viewing, of course, for Blackburn Rovers. But we go again. Let's take a look at the starting lineups then, shall we? Of course, kicking on off with the hosts. In goal, of course, for Cardiff, Ryan Alsop, penalty saving king. Well done to him. Kipri, of course, at the back there. Perry and G. Nukukuku on the left-hand side. Romero on the right side. Was actually substituted early doors in that match. Ryan Whittle in midfield alongside, who else do we have in there? Romain Sawyers. Ojo on the right-hand side. Adado on the left. Ruminotto in midfield as well. Callum Robson, the lone man, up top before the changes that came on. Of course, good changes, strong changes. Simpson came on, Joe Rawls. We had Philip Higginson Dance, and of course, Aris as well. So the goal scorer. As for Rovers, Kaminsky between six, Ayala, Hayam make it to the back two there. Back four, of course, Pickering and Britton made up complete the set. Travis and Buckley in midfield, Hedges, Diaz, Smodic, and Dolan up top. Of course, we did see, Morton, Dack, Gallagher, and Erst, who did miss the penalty. Indeed, not great, was it? Not great. Wharton and Carter on the bench, new substitutions. Take a look at, of course, some of the shots here. Look, Rovers, pretty piss poor in front of goal. Just, was it 4 strikes or something stupid like that? I don't even know. 5, it says 5 strikes here. With Hurst getting one of them, that's probably even the penalty. Gallagher up there, Dolan, Brereton, Diaz, and Smolish as well. Nothing from edges today, all Buckley, all Dack, all Morton, so pretty toothless. As for the opposition, Robson had 5 attempts. That's pretty much more than we had altogether. 2 for Perry and G, 1 for Whittle, Dowder with a couple, Rawls, Simpson, but Dance and Harris as well, with that zinger of a goal as well. Of course, we had 678 touches to their 616, 500 passes to their 415, and some other stats in there. All there for your leisure. Take it in, adjust it. Of course, take a look at the heat maps then, shall we? Because Rovers represented by the heat map down the bottom here. A lot of possession, of course, a lot of grass covered, but mainly, look at this. It's a dessert. It's a dessert, or desert even. There's absolutely zero stuff in that attacking third. It's a bit of embarrassment, to be honest. It's quite embarrassing when you look at where Cardiff, no disrespect, where Cardiff were at the start of this match. They were down there at the foot end of the table. They were struggling. They were not doing that good. They got a fluky result against the Freaks, of course, this past weekend. But look how bad that is for Rovers. All the gear, but no fucking idea going forward. It's frustrating. And again, I am giving the benefit of the doubt here. It is a transitional season, but we're not talking about attackers that don't know what they're doing about. They don't know what they're doing. We've got Edges, quite an experienced pro. We've got Diaz, who of course knows where the back of the fucking net is. Who else was up there today? Smodic again. These guys should be penetrating, and I know it's a bit of a saucy word, penetrating that, of course, Cardiff back line and giving us something to get excited about. But we are limited on efforts. Are we just too afraid? Are we just trying to take advantage of the actual chances we've got on goal? We're going to get 1 shot, 1 goal, that kind of stats. But to be honest with you, I don't like it. I think we need to change it up a bit. This kind of shit here is not working out. It's not working out. I felt under the pressure from moment one with Cardiff. I thought they were better, more prepared, more hungry. They wanted it more, and we just had the ball and just passed it between each other, and we didn't really go anywhere. Let's take a look at, of course, the match ratings. Then shall we come into the man of the match according to these guys here is Andy Romanetto with 7.4, also with a 7.7. I disagree. Maybe, of course, for the penalty save, you might get it. But for me, 6.9 Kaminski, that's a shit show. That's a shambles. That's a shambles for him. He's definitely in the sevens. And I would say he was the best player tonight for us. 7.5 for me, I would give him. But they give it to Ayala with 7.3. 7.4 for Haim as well. To be honest with you, I don't too much. One thing I can talk about is playing out from the back. What is that all about now with Rovers? We look like we just got out of bed. Like we don't even know what we're doing. It's clueless FC at the back, and you'll see that in a minute when we look at the social media comments. It is not us. That's not Blackburn Rovers. Again. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch, and it's frustrating to watch also down the road. And I don't want to make a big deal about it, but Burnley, a new manager, new ethos, and all that kind of stuff. They've come in and they've hit a ground running, and they look like they know what they're doing. Even though they're not kicking ass that much or that much ahead of us, they of course I feel they're getting somewhere. They're getting closer. I think for us, we're just treading water. We're not really making any progress. We're not going backwards, but we're not really going any forwards. I think we're dancing around a single spot, and we're floating around it. We're not really going anywhere. So for me, that's a concern. It's a concern that needs to be. We need to see significant. We need to see significant change, progress very soon. Let's get them going. We've got 6 weeks up ahead of us before the World Cup. Let's get going. Let's get more wins in the win column. Let's get more points on the board. And, of course, let's start to see some actual progress. Anyway, here's JGT with his thoughts about the game.
We've taken many positive, many good steps in the right direction. First half was not one of them. We're not playing well in the first half. I think second half was an extremely equal game, where could have gone both ways in that way. We defended our box pretty well in the whole game, and of course in the second half when we're not playing our best football, which we didn't do today, you need to get a point with us. It's a penalty. Credit to George to want to take a penalty. You can miss a penalty. Probably the ref should have been waiting a little bit regarding his blowing the whistle in that way. So disappointed, frustrated in that way. But we've been here before, winning and losing, like a lot of teams in the league. So now we have a good opportunity where we would like to see a reaction on Saturday at home.
Yeah, tell us about the penalty decision. And initially, we saw some of the protests from your players who wanted the advantage to be played because the ball ended up in the net. Is that a view you share? The ref could have waited maybe a little longer?
Yeah, I think he should have waited longer, but it's actually not the ref's reason. We could have done it better during the game as well. But of course, he should have been waiting longer. I think we know that.
And it was not particularly Rovers' goal chance anyway, in terms of the way that it was created. A long ball into the penalty area. The normal style of football, the way that you like to play stylish football. It took a while to get going, as you mentioned, the first half as well. How do you explain that performance and the first half in particular?
A lot of bad choices. Choice on the ball, slow movement. Then it can be difficult to play football. And we're trained in a free kick like this, where we get the chance from a diagonal ball. It was a free kick from Morton and Daniel who hit it, and I think it was Ryan or Tom who got on the ball before the goalie. So in that way, it was a good situation where we created that chance, which we could do.
A couple of big chances in the second half. One for Smodics, which the keeper saved, and Bradley Dack getting on the end of a really nice ball from Morton. Just for him, uncharacteristic that his touch let him down when he would have been through on goal.
As I said, I think it was an equal game in the second half. In that way, I think Cardiff were better in the first half, so all credit to them. But we had a couple of moments in the second half, and when we are not playing at our best, of course you need to get a point with you.
What did you make of your side in possession today? Was there room for improvement in your view?
Yeah, for sure.
And why do you feel that the side wasn't as you wanted it in terms of possession, in terms of distribution? Is there any reason for that, you think?
It's of course the most difficult in football, and that's of course a journey. We are improving slowly but slowly. We will keep on making mistakes. We will keep on being inconsistent. Over time, we will be better. I think you saw that in the first half especially. And of course, there's something we need to improve, and that is all about moving, do the quick, explosive, and of course, choices on the ball in the end of the day.
Meanwhile, what's been said on social media? We'll have a little look at it. It's not pretty. Barnes says, so inconsistent. I know embedding takes time, but this is a bit of a joke. Also, why isn't Dak taking that penalty? Come on, guys. It's common bloody sense. It bloody well is as well. Bradley Sturton said, Daniel Ayala was a huge problem today. Never looked confident, and he was lucky he didn't cause us 3 or 4 goals. Yes, he had an off day, I'd say, but not horrific. Callum says, goal should have counted. Dak should have been taking the penalty. Otherwise, they deserve nothing more than 0 points. Very poor tonight. Agree. Mike Beattie said, not our night because we mess about too much and don't play to our strengths. Joke of the night, can blame the ref all we want, but that was a joke performance. None the same. Adam Tatsuki said, that was so bad, I don't even know where to begin. Hurst shouldn't have had that anywhere near that penalty, and the ref should know how to play a 2-second advantage, but other than that, we deserved absolutely nothing. So disappointing. Carl Wicks deserved nothing. Terrible tactics, terrible penalty. Feel for Dak deserved the goal. Adam Cattrall said, abysmal. Consistently played ourselves into trouble. Couldn't string 2 passes together all night. Offered nothing attack. If Cardiff had anything up front, it would have been 3 or 4. Yes, ref had a shocker with a goal pen, but did we deserve anything? No chance. Solstice Inc. said, would have been a smash and grab draw if the pen had been inverted. As is, we didn't deserve anything and we got nothing. Playing out from the back. Back to the drawing board. JDT, have we got players for such style of play? And Hoddy BFC said, at least we can look forward to a win next game. Hopefully he's right, because knowing our luck, that we might have run out of form, and of course a couple of defeats in a row, and then we start to get a little bit worried. These are of course the results that also took place this coming Tuesday. Luton Town against Huddersfield Town, 3-3 there. Of course, new manager coming in there, get himself a decent point. Meanwhile, Tony Mowbray getting himself a draw against Blackpool. Meanwhile, Bristol City 0, Coventry 0. Sheffield United had a shocker against QPR, Eagles Fish and Chips with a 1-0 win, and Reading 1, Norwich 1. They got their first draw on the board there. As the Rovers, we either win or we lose. We're either good or we're great, or either we're shit or we're good. Of course, a lot of games coming at you tomorrow, but I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. Who are we taking? We're taking on Rotherham next. They're in action, so we'll have a preview for that game probably Thursday. Coming at you though, this is what the table looks like. Sheffield United level on points now with Norwich. Reading, of course, closing in on them, the top 2 points, of course, first to draw for them on the books. We are still in the playoffs, of course, ahead of likes of Sunderland, with Watford potentially going to leapfrog us tomorrow. We'll see about that. Look at Wigan, 2 games in hand. Potentially they could go, 19, 21 points. They could actually go 4th if they win both of the games. Going down, Coventry, Huddersfield and Middlesbrough, but of course that could all change tomorrow. Indeed, of course. Speaking of course, what's coming up? QPR against Reading, that's of course coming up on Friday. Swansea against Sunderland, Blackpool against Watford, West Brom against Luton Town, Birmingham against Bristol City, Stoke against Sheffield United, Rovers entertain Rotherham. Of course, we'll be there with the watch along. I'll be back in the hot seat and I'll be watching my P's and Q's. Meanwhile, Coventry against Burnley, Millwall against Middlesbrough, Norwich against Preston, Wigan against Cardiff, and Huddersfield take on Hull City in the Battle of the H's. That is it. Of course, once again, big shout out to Blue Rose Capital for sponsoring this video. Make sure, of course, you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and smash the little bell. I've got to go put this shirt in the wash. I got my dinner all over it, of course. And I'm looking forward to the next game already, because I'm going to put this one to bed, because this was an absolute shit show, horror show. Not really want to be replaying what's it. There was nothing we could get out of that. There was no joy in that game. You know, there was no, if you squeeze that game, you rinsed it and squeezed it, you get nothing out of it. There's nothing to get excited about that game whatsoever. It was poor to watch. It was a poor display, and nobody really stood out, except for the goal. The goal for Cardiff was a good goal, as an unbiased point of view. Anyway, that's it. Smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up. I'll see you soon for the next one.